What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Double M Live. This is a special edition with Double M because this is the WrestleMania 40 preview show. And not only am I joined by the executive producer, Cool Sam, in the building, I see his honorary member of the Bloodline little thing right there.
It's
we,
processing.
we also joined by two great friends of the show, two guys that we love having on, especially when it comes to wrestling and everything related to wrestling. Shout out to my guy Jet in the building.
Yeet.
And shout out to my guy Dave Most in the building as well. Thank you for joining us, Dave. Thank you for joining us, Jet. Appreciate having you guys here for sure.
Yeah, so
Hey, I'm on
excited.
here to bother Sam.
Man, this was so fun last year. It's gonna be also. It introduced me to this like awesome wrestling group chat that we have that I participate in every day because my wife was just sick of me talking about wrestling to her. That she had no idea what I was talking about. So it's been a good outlet for me.
No, really, that group chat that Sam and Dave introduced us to and brought us in. I tell you what, I used to talk wrestling with Sam, used to talk wrestling with my brother, but being in that group chat and just really all the thoughts that just be flowing through my mind. Now I have a place to just get it all out.
Yeah, but the problem is now you got like Sam in your ear about it, and suddenly you want Roman to retain at WrestleMania, where it's been like for 2 years. For 2 years, you've been like, he's got to lose the title. And yesterday, Mike in the group chat, I might be cool if Roman retains it. It's like, where the fuck is this coming from?
Hello, is this thing on? Hello, Jet. You watch it, pal. Okay. Mike is grown. He made his decision. He's gonna buy it. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that.
And I'm gonna definitely get into why I've shifted my thoughts to seeing Roman retain. But like I said, this is Double M WrestleMania 40 preview show. As we're recording tonight, which is April 2nd, WrestleMania is taking place this weekend, Saturday and Sunday night. It's going down night 1, night 2. And this could be what they're promoted it as, the biggest, greatest, grandest WrestleMania we have ever seen. I've been hesitant to commit to that because we've seen a lot of WrestleMania, a lot of great WrestleManias. And I know this one is, main event. The main event's heavy and heavily promoted in this day and age of social media, and things are just out there left and right. But to say this is going to be the greatest WrestleMania ever, I'm hesitant. It remains to be seen.
Yeah, I feel like they're almost obligated. I feel like they're almost obligated to use that moniker every year. Every year this year is gonna be the greatest WrestleMania ever. So, I guess they're gonna leave it up to the audience and the fans to decide that.
Yeah, what are they gonna do next year? Say, well, this is gonna be big, but not quite as big as last year's.
Yeah, you can't really chop every other
Right.
But I will say this might be the biggest triple header in terms of main events that one WrestleMania has ever seen.
There's an argument to be made there for sure. Yeah. And we're going to dive into the storylines and the main events and everything revolving around WrestleMania 40 for sure. But I definitely want to ask you guys just to get a quick, temperature check with WWE. A lot of interesting things have been happening. Triple H is taking over. What has it been like? Maybe 2 years now, or it's been a full year, I believe, something along those lines. But he's been in charge.
And then Vince came back for like a month, right? And then had to go again.
And that didn't last too long. But Triple H has been in charge for, I think, over a year now. But I think Sam had the good idea of talking about just looking at the landscape of WWE since WrestleMania 39 and everything that's kind of transpired between the storylines, the new stars, the current stars, what's it really look like, and just getting our thoughts and feelings of what we've seen from just a product and in comparison to the other companies out there and just whatnot. I definitely want to get y'all thoughts and feelings, and we can go right around the table, starting with Sam. What you feeling like when it comes to WWE over these last several months, last year, whatnot?
All right, I'll try to take up most of the time so Dave can't talk. For me personally, I would say the best thing about the last 365 is that you can tell Triple H is listening to what the people want, And even if he's not giving the people what they want right then and there, he's addressing it. Right. The only thing that hasn't happened yet that people have been clamoring for is for Roman to drop the belt, which a lot of us think might be happening this WrestleMania. That's yet to be seen. But in turn, put your damn hands down, Jet. Um, but I think in terms of storylines and characters that we want to see, um, mesh and intertwine with each other, I think he's really put his ear out to the WWE universe. He's brought in and promoted a lot of new talent that has also made WWE more interesting. Sometimes it gets kind of stagnant, seeing the same people run the same storylines, chasing the same belts, but he's added a lot of new wrinkles. He's brought back some people, he's introduced some people. So the last 365 has just furthered his already impressive resume, being at, the helm of WWE, taking over for Vince. And it only looks like it's going up from here.
Agreed. Jet, how you feeling, my guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's in a great spot right now. Over the past year, we've had a lot of really, really interesting storylines, and I think that Triple H has done a good job in bringing new elements to the program that hasn't been there. He's definitely not as stubborn as Vince. I don't know that anybody outside of Donald Trump is as stubborn as Vince. So that's a big deal to be able to, like Sam was saying, sort of listen to the fans and listen to the wrestlers too and get their input on storylines and stuff, I think is important. Whereas Vince was like, I don't care what anybody says. I'm just going to go ahead and do what I want to do, which sometimes resulted in really good things. But like anybody, who's running a business, the same business for 40 years, like eventually you're going to lose your fastball, right? And you're not going to be able to tell as good of stories because you're not going to have your pulse on what people want to see anymore. And I think that's what was happening a lot with Vince as he was getting older and the product was getting a little bit more stale. And I was listening to an interesting conversation that Chris Van Fleet was having with Sam Roberts the other day on his wrestling podcast. And they were trying to, The Rock has now been saying wrestling's cool again. Wrestling's really cool again. They were trying to pinpoint like when this era of like wrestling started and trying to put a name on it. Like, is it the Triple H era? Is it like the international era? Some people are calling it the Renaissance era. Like, was it when Cody Rhodes came back? I think it was when it was the Cody Seth Hell in the Cell match and Cody revealed the torn pec as sort of the moment that like things kind of changed. And I also want to, before we go to Dave, something that I've really liked, and this has been much more recent, not even talking about the past 365, talking about the past 2 months, the new camera crew that they've hired, like a director, we've talked about this in the group chat, is so much better than what they were doing before with just like cutting. Like you have cameras following people. You have like, it's just a much more dynamic, like realistic broadcast that looks like a combination between like a professional sports broadcast and like a really awesome TV show. So, I think Triple H has really tried to put his stamp on it, not just in sort of storytelling, but in terms of how everything looks. And there's just so many. The roster is loaded, right? So there's so many great stars, and I don't think you could say, oh, he's pushing everybody exactly the right way, or he knows how to handle or book this wrestler the right way, because nobody could be hit 100%, but he's doing a really good job. Like we'll talk about, there's some people I wish he would book differently or book better, but for the most part, I think he's done a great job.
Yeah, I agree. I know we lost Dave. I think he was having a little bit of technical difficulties, but he should be back once he
Or
gets.
Sam did something to him.
Sam sabotage.
I warned him. He didn't want to listen.
Sam sabotage. Dave had to pop out. Hopefully, we'll get him back shortly. But I gotta agree with everything you guys are saying in terms of just what we've seen Triple H do and how he's handled business. A lot of things you said, like the fact that Jet said after a lot of years, you might lose that fastball. You might lose your pulse on what's really going on and how things have changed and evolved with the times. And
especially with the women's wrestlers, right? Like the women's division. I don't think that's something Vince ever got or ever thought was going to make him money. And it makes WWE so much money now. And and a lot of times they're like the women's Royal Rumble was better than the men's. So they'll steal the pay-per-views. And I thought the best match at Mania last year, I thought was Rhea versus Charlotte. Like they legitimately are just as good as the men in terms of putting on a compelling match.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Vince, and not to say Vince was necessarily wrong, but he did just view women as be half naked on the screen and is going to make us money. He wasn't necessarily wrong. What guys don't want to see half? What you got Sable out there with the, Vince wasn't necessarily wrong, but
just a pervert.
Just a pervert, yeah. But women are capable of doing so much more, and over the years, especially people probably getting in Vince's ear, like, all right, Vince, we need to kind of shift things a little bit. And surely and slowly but surely he did, but Triple H is really taking it to the next level in terms of what he's been able to have the women do and how they've been able to perform and the stories they've been able to tell and the characters they've been able to create. Triple H has really done a lot. Obviously, are there still maybe some ways to go? Yeah, the women's tag team titles, I do feel like
they don't do them any justice.
They don't get the proper love.
Mike, this is the second year in a row they're not going to defend them at WrestleMania. They're doing a triple threat for the second year in a row.
Those damn belts.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why the women's titles don't get any type of love at all. Like, you have tag teams. While they're doing the 6-pack challenge, the women can get some type of love and do something similar as well. But like I said, they still have a little ways to go in terms of building that division and getting them more integrated, but they still have come a long way. So in terms of, just the temperature of they're hot right now. They're as hot as they've ever been. And I mean, I definitely believe while they've been hot over the last couple of years a little bit, they've definitely reached a little bit of attitude era with a twist, and that's because of certain things that have gone on over the last couple of weeks, which we'll get into. But we're older guys. The PG era is cool. It wasn't great, not what we used to watch in terms of the 90s and how they used to handle business. They did what they could in the PG era, and John Cena being the guy leading the charge, it was still somewhat entertaining. But if they can take what they're doing now and continue to put their twist and remix on the Attitude Era and, being a little bit edgier, I think they can make a lot of big things happen moving forward. And now that we got Dave back, what's going on, Dave? You good, Dave?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you, man.
Yeah, I had to switch from the Windows to the Mac. So you got truck mask. You always
be like that sometimes,
Mac, man.
It'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, your temperature check, man. How you feeling about what we've seen over the last year?
It is so fun being a wrestling fan right now, bro. It is. It's an absolute pleasure. It is like if you just look at the last 4 years. I mean, I know we're just talking about the last 12 months, but this progression over the last 4 years has been so substantial. And then part of it is due to the guy who holds the title. Yeah, sure. But the way that they have manufactured these stories. I was just talking to my brother the other day about a book series and how this book has been going on for so many years. And I talked about how you have to be a special type of crazy to be able to write a story that both ties into the possibilities of the future and still tie into the realities of the past and it still make it consistent. And that's what they've been doing. Yeah. It's like they write it so well to keep you captivated, to give you good historical background, and to leave the door just open enough for absolutely anything to happen.
Dave, it's sort of like, not to cut you off, but just to add to your point, the only people who sort of care that much about like making sure that everything is like you acknowledging the past, building futures, like kind of got like a comic book vibe to it too, right? Like you're telling that sort of stories. It's like, this happened in a comic book 30 years ago, but it's going to impact what happens in this next issue or next movie.
Yeah, think about Marvel over the last 10 years. It's similar to that. Yeah.
Ironically, I was reading somewhere that Triple H actually got a lot of advice from comic book writers the last few years in terms of putting storylines together because he wanted to make He wanted to make it more cinematic, and I think that's where the new camera crew came in because he wants wrestling to be an experience again, right?
Good job.
And that's what I think that's what I think we're at now. It's an experience now.
I think fans, like certainly I could say for me, get upset where things happen in wrestling or in comics or stuff that just don't make sense. Like, okay, why is this person like suddenly a babyface? They were a heel last week, like for no reason. They're suddenly just like a babyface. Like you have to give characters motivations and like their story needs to follow a logical progression. And like you can't be friends with somebody that beat you down 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago and suddenly they're your ally. Like this story with Seth and Cody, like it makes sense. They went through this period of time where they were in war games together, right? They didn't really fully trust each other. And over a 2-year period of time, finally they're like, okay, we're gonna fight in the tag team together. Like Vince, I feel like would have just thrown them in a tag team together, no explanation, be like, they're friends now. Triple H, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Takes a long.
I think Jet just froze up on us.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. If I to kind of hear what he's saying
with stories and
back.
I'm back. No, go ahead.
If I understand what you're saying correctly, Jet, Triple H is taking the time to let things simmer and cook and deliver to us. When in terms of like, I think you're saying, Vince might have just been like, all right, just going to make this tag team happen. There's no real story or rhyme or reason to it, but I just know it's going to be a good match. Let's just make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
With Triple H is like, okay, let me give you a 2 or 3 or 4 weeks of really breaking down why this, that, and the third is happening. He's very good at dropping Easter eggs.
Right.
Very good at foreshadowing. These last couple of weeks, you see in the background, like it's only because of social media where, I'll see somebody post, oh, did you see somebody Drew talking to
Talking
Paul
to Heyman.
Heyman in the back?
Yeah.
Did you see
Right.
Damian Priest say this little slick, I gotta go make a phone. Like he's very good at dropping these little Easter eggs and doing a little foreshadowing and different things like that. And I don't know where he's getting it from. The new writers or guy said he's been talking to comic book writers. It's working because it gets the people talking, and that's what you want to do in wrestling. Yes, you want to have good matches and great athletes, but if you could get the people talking with the storyline you're telling, that's what's going to keep people really coming back for more. And I think it's something that they were good at in the 90s. And I don't want to say, Vince got complacent. Maybe he did get complacent. Just let me just put out stuff, put out products, put out. In terms of the 90s where, okay, we had these solid stars who can tell these stories and slowly build, but maybe complacency was there.
Right.
But Triple H is somewhat, he got it cooking again. Again, and we're all invested.
Look at what we were just talking about a couple hours ago about Michael Cole's small little nugget there about the tag titles. And I think using the announcers to throw in those little Easter eggs is amazing. Like, just like Jess said, they could have split the tag titles a long time ago. But this long burn, and then now, because before last night, I'm assuming we all figured that it was going to be a match where whoever takes down the titles, all 4 straps win the belt. But now there's going to be this little, twisting that you got to take down 2 titles and you got to take down another 2 titles. And so you might have two separate champions at the end of the night. But I don't want to.
They better have that.
I'm not giving them a choice.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
They better
there's way too many good tag teams now to like, it doesn't make sense to just have a team defending on Raw every week. Like there's too many good tag teams.
It makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. But let's keep it here. Let's keep it moving here and get into what we're really here for. And that's WrestleMania 40, which is coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Before we really get into our predictions in terms of each match, let's give a chance to talk about the stories that have been built over these last couple of weeks, last couple of months, and the night 1 lineup, the night 2 lineup. Let's talk about how we feel about some of these storylines. So if I'm looking at night 1 that's been dropped according to Triple H, night 1, we're going to have Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control. Jay versus Jimmy in the brother versus brother match. The Undisputed Tag Team Title 6-Pack Challenge ladder match. Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. We got the Women's World Heavyweight title match. Rhea versus Becky. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. And then obviously the main event, Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody and Seth. Some of these we don't have to give too much time and attention to, but let's start with night one. And let's talk about one of the matches that recently got made, I think last Friday, really quickly, which is the Bianca Belair, Naomi, Jade Cargill versus Damage Control. I think Sam and I were talking about this a little bit before the show started. One, it sucks that Damage Control is not defending the tag team titles, but at the same time, Triple H, the writers, the producers, whoever, they figured out a way to keep Damage Control involved in WrestleMania, keep Bianca involved in WrestleMania. Naomi just returned, she's still trying to figure things out, I guess. And then introduce Jade Cargill to the world. So we have a match here. Is it the tag team titles being defended? No, but we have what could be still a solid match. In terms of these 6 women getting in the ring together. So what are y'all thoughts and feelings about how this match has been put together?
First of all, I'm just gonna go on a bat. Naomi they need to figure out a way to work Naomi into the bloodline story. I want that. That's what I need. Okay,
it makes sense.
It makes sense.
I'm surprised that we're 3 years into the bloodline story and they haven't had a female member of the bloodline.
Yeah,
talk about it.
Yeah, it's a lacking. But
you know what? I think the reason there isn't a female member of the bloodline yet is because Nia Jax was out of the WWE for a while. Because I think she would have eventually joined, right? Because you're not gonna throw in. Let's look at the female Samoan wrestlers, right? Granted, is Naomi's married to an Uso.
Right.
She's a black woman. All right. So there was yeah.
In fairness, and Dom actually said this in his promo the other day. One of the guys in the LWO is straight up just not Latino. He's from the Philippines. No? He's Filipino. He's not Latin. Joaquin Wild.
Joaquin.
He's not Hispanic.
No, he's from the Philippines.
Hispanic. He's not
what?
Nothing.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, they blew up his spot. Dom blew up his spot.
Dom was like, he was like, "Who's gonna face me? The guy from Munchkin Land?" He said, "Or the fake Latino."
Oh my!
I did hear that, but I was confused.
Yeah, no, Joaquin Wild has 0% Latin blood in him. He's straight up 100% Filipino.
WWE racism still exists.
You can tell Kofi Jamaican. You can tell he wasn't ready for that because when he said it, he was like. He was not. He did not know he was going to drop.
He said, "No mas."
He's like, yo no sé.
I missed that. Wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
So I'm just saying, Sam, there's a precedent. They could put a black woman in the bloodline. Yeah, they put Joaquin Wild in the LWO, man.
Yeah, Joaquin put on a fucking t-shirt, and then that was it. But
yeah,
the thing again with I think the other reason they didn't add her is because WWE never really played off the fact that she was married to an Uso in any other storylines.
That's true.
Unlike these other couples that we have in like they play off Becky and Seth being together. There's been storylines about that. They're eventually gonna play off Charlotte and Andrade being back. They're gonna play off that. They've never really played off, Naomi.
I don't know that they've ever even mentioned it on TV.
Another example, Bianca and Montez.
Yeah, they haven't really played off that, but we know it. But even they've got more exposure than Naomi and Jimmy. So it's like to throw her into the bloodline. They're kind of playing. They would have to finally acknowledge the fact that they're married publicly in terms of the storylines. So I think if there was going to be a first, it would have been either Tamina or Nia Jax, but Tamina just they never gave her enough.
Yeah.
So that was an L, and then Nia was fired, and then came back. But then she needs to build herself up before she
And
joins
the Rock's daughter ain't ready.
Rock's daughter never gonna wrestle again. She's a GM.
Yo, they told her, yeah, maybe this isn't.
Listen, you can
They
talk.
said, we'll give you a paycheck because we don't want to upset your dad. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
you
one
stay on
match,
right.
and they said, yeah, maybe the wrestling part.
It's not for you.
Jeez.
But to get back to the triple threat tag match though, man. I was on not the triple threat, but a 3-woman tag match. I'm excited to see Jade. I think for a while there, we were like, okay, WrestleMania is a month away, and Jade has been here since what, November or
yeah,
like,
I was getting worried.
November-ish. Like, what is she just not gonna be a part of the card? And Triple H doesn't want to speed her up. It's WrestleMania, bro. Like, so I feel like now, now WrestleMania is 2 seconds away. Okay, we're gonna throw her into this whole thing with Bianca and Naomi and with Damage Control, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I think it might be a little disservice to Jade, but we'll see.
If we're gonna be honest here, it was the best of a bad situation, because as much as I love Jade, and y'all know I've been talking about Jade since she was with that other company.
Right.
We can say it on this show, bro.
I don't know. You see what my thing says.
Honorary bloodline.
When she was on that other show that was doing a whole bunch of nothing.
Wow. Right? Yeah, you caught that, huh?
Oh, sure did. Her thing is like she's always been like a Goldberg, right? With a powerhouse with
two moves.
No moveset. No, actually, you know what? I take it back. Because early on, Goldberg had more moves than what he she's more like Braun Strowman.
So they're teaching her how to wrestle, basically. She
didn't
know how to wrestle at AEW, and they have to teach her how to wrestle.
Because all her matches were squash matches in that other promotion. She would do a pump handle kick, and then a clothesline.
Which she did those two things the other day.
You don't get it,
man. Is that ever an indictment on the developments department of that other company? My goodness.
Why is nobody saying AEW?
I don't give a damn, Jet. It don't matter to me. I don't care for that company anyway.
It's a great indictment on the development department of AEW.
Well,
they only bring in seasoned wrestlers. They can't bring in new wrestlers to train and build up. Point blank.
Let me ask y'all this, because obviously, this is going to be the real debut of Jade Cargill, and hopefully now with time she starts to get involved more with storyline and whatnot. But do you feel like they're kind of doing Bianca a disservice by just throwing her in this tag match? Because if it was Charlotte ain't doing no tag match.
No,
she going to be in a triple threat title match, a one-on-one title match. You see what they're doing. Becky, Rhea, Bailey's getting her shot now that she's back and healthy. She's on that level.
Becky did the same. Becky did the same thing last year, though, right? She was in that triple threat tag match. I think, wasn't it her, Lita, and Trish against Damage Control?
Yeah.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
True. So,
and if we're gonna be honest, Bianca has headlined or been has had one of the major promoted matches, like 3 WrestleManias in a row, including two wins over the formerly known as Sasha Banks. So
you don't think it's a problem that she's kind of taking a back seat this year?
No, because everyone has to take a back seat eventually. You're not going to headline every.
Yeah, it's Sam. Everybody has to take a back seat eventually. That's right.
Yeah, we're talking about regular people, Jet. You think you're slick, okay?
I didn't put words in your mouth, man. You're the one who said it.
Watch it. You're hanging out with Dave too much.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going with some other matches. The brother versus brother, Jimmy versus Jey Uso. Here's my problem with this match. One, I think they should have gave the story a little bit more time and more microphone promo time. One, and two, I don't think Jimmy has gotten the proper build because everyone believes Jay's just going to beat him. So it's a brother and brother. It's cool to have that match. You know, it's happened over the years in WWE history, but I don't think Jimmy has gotten the proper build he needs to feel like it's a real. There's going to be a real match taking place where we see any other option but Jay coming out on top.
But wouldn't that be the greatest twist though? That
Jimmy were to win?
If Jimmy gets a clean win?
No, he's not going to win clean.
It's not happening.
The problem is, like, they've booked Jay really, really well since
they sure have
with the Bloodline. They've done a great job, but they've also booked Jimmy and Solo, especially since he beat Cena, as just jobbers now. Like they just lose, so that's tough. But like, I mean, yeah, I think Jay's gonna definitely win, but it's still, like you said, I think it's more about it's brother versus brother, which is fun. Like they'll put on a really good match because they're both really talented wrestlers, and so I'm just hoping the match quality is what sort of fixes the, like you said, it's hard to do mic time with just Jimmy because Jimmy's always in the bloodline. Like Jay gets his mic time and stuff like that, but Jimmy, it's like, well, why is just Jimmy coming out here? Where's Roman? Where's Paul? Where's Solo?
Well, which is why that match is going to look predictable. But like I said, it's a brother versus brother. It's still going to be somewhat interesting either way. They should have found a way to work Rikishi into the story. That's where it would have been like, okay, not a lot of promo time and whatnot, but if they found a way to get Rikishi out there for one night or something like that, just to throw something out there, that's where they could have added a little extra spark to it, in my opinion.
But we don't. Maybe that's in the plan. Maybe that's in the works. You know, there's always a couple surprise guests at WrestleMania, so maybe that's what they're aiming.
You think he's gonna stink face his sons?
I doubt it.
I hope not, because I don't need to see his bare ass on ever again.
Just work Solo into the match somehow. I don't know how.
And that's what I was gonna say. The best thing to do is to work Solo into the match and have him be conflicted, because they're his older brothers, right? I say have him get ready to Samoan Spike Jay, and then have him have that realization, like, this is my brother too. Like,
shake his head and back away from everything.
Leave the match and then just be like, I can't do it. How I can't pick a side. That's cinema. That's the best way to go about that match, unless Rikishi gets involved, which is, I wouldn't say a long shot, but definitely not something I'd bet the house on. But Solo, that's an easy fix. I mean, he's always with Jimmy anyway. Yeah. So just do that and you'll be okay.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything else y'all want to add to that match, but we could keep it moving here. Let's see here. We don't need to give much time to this Rey Mysterio Dragon Lee.
Santos. Yeah, I love Dom. He's probably one of my top 3 wrestlers right now. I just think he's so funny, and the fact that he gets booed at his own wedding was amazing. But this match could be on SmackDown. Like, there's no reason.
Honest to God.
You need something for the pre-show.
Why Dragon Lee too? Like, I like Dragon Lee. I think he's good, but he hasn't been on SmackDown in like 2 months, and there's like, he's the newest member of the NWA. It should be Carlito. And everybody wants him to do it anyways.
And I think that's another. If there's anything to pull from this storyline, I think that's right there. Because if you want to pick up the slight little, his facial feature when Mysterio announced that it was Dragon Lee, one can argue that Carlito was a little bit disappointed. You know what I mean? And so, this could happen. This could lead to.
I was telling Mike there were rumblings that Carlito could turn on Rey. But
couldn't that happen at SmackDown too? Like, this match doesn't need more than 3 minutes. This is a 3-minute match.
No, I think the reason they thought it was going to be worthy of any kind of WrestleMania moment would have been Carlito turning on Rey, because supposedly nobody would have seen this coming. On what they grossly misunderstood is that this whole Legado del Fantasma versus LWO feud is based off nothing but people turning on each other. So
Right. They should have, if they were gonna do it, I think they should have just had the whole factions like street fight, just including Zelina and including Electra Lopez, like just everybody go at it.
Yeah, I definitely need to see them.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Definitely.
All right. Let's keep it going because that match doesn't need that much attention. Let's talk about the undisputed tag team title 6-pack ladder match, and here are the participants: Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Judgment Day, DIY, Awesome Truth, The New Day, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller, and New Catch Republic. Those are our guys. There's not really a storyline here other than the fact that they need to split up the titles. That's the main thing coming out of this match. The titles need to be split up. We'll get into our predictions in a little bit, but the main thing is here, the titles should have been split up a long time ago. And I'm happy this match, ladder match, that adds a little spark to it. It should have been just a straight up TLC. Like just fucking TLC.
Well, I think that this is I guess you guys remember that big that like 8-man tag match last year with Street Profits and
the showcase one. Yeah,
the showcase. I think this is just along with the possible splitting of the tag team titles. It's just a great spot fest match. You're gonna see some crazy spots throughout this match, some high flying stuff. Just to catch some excitement. I was listening to my wrestling news today. There's actually rumblings that maybe Austin Theory and Grayson Waller might get replaced by those guys with the half
Creed brothers.
No,
Pretty Deadly.
Pretty Deadly.
No,
that might happen. It's just a rumor, but that might happen. But I think that this is gonna be a good spot for this match. It's gonna be a fun match. It's gonna be an ooh and ah type of match, and hopefully we get what we want. We get a SmackDown tag champs, Catch Republic, and we get Raw tag champs. Awesome Truth, and that's what we got.
I tell you what, you need to replace the team with somebody. You know what would give them a pop?
Tell me.
Give the Hardy Boys their last final match.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Jeff Hardy sober.
No, but give us 20 minutes.
Sam, they can't even make it down that giant ramp at WrestleMania. They're gonna get injured.
Put them in a car. Eddie Guerrero.
Man, your boy Jeff is still under contract, bro, because he got to make up the days he was injured.
Yeah,
that's
while interesting. Sorry,
it's bad. Trust me. I see clips of Jeff Hardy and versus Sting in TNA almost daily. Somebody brings it back up, and that match it breaks my heart every time I see it.
It does. It's a horrible match, man.
It's sad. I've never seen a general manager come out in the middle of a match and tell the people how the match is going to end because of how high one of the participants is. It's unprecedented. But I'm telling you, it's WrestleMania. It's a ladder match. Like
I don't even know if they can make it up the ladder, bro.
No, it's not. They're not supposed to win. What's supposed to happen?
Sam just wants to kill Jeff Hardy. He's like, I want to do it.
No, because I need them to retire.
So you want the Dudley Boys to come out and put somebody through a table too?
I'll tell you what.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. There's a lot of matches to get through.
But I think if you give them their final match in WWE and let them hang up the boots, like do the whole ceremonial thing where they leave the boots in the ring after, because they're the originators of not the originators, but like they're the ones that made ladder matches really famous for tag teams. Cinema. They don't win shit because we can't have them wrestle ever again after that.
But maybe one day, Sam, but it ain't gonna be at WrestleMania 40. All right. Moving on. Here's a title match. And I got something I want to talk about with this title match a little bit later, but here's a match coming up in the storyline that we have with it. Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title match.
I think it was.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
I was just going to say some people might be happy with it being Sami Zayn in this spot Some people might not be happy with Sami Zayn having this spot. I like Sami Zayn. I just don't know if they want Gunther to lose the belt at WrestleMania. I don't know if it should be Sami.
And that's what makes it so compelling.
I was rooting for Chad Gable, to be honest with you. He should have
Yeah, I
won
thought that was a better story.
Sorry, Jet.
No.
Very rarely am I like genuinely and authentically surprised at an ending. And I think that it really took me aback when Sami won that match, because I really, really thought that Chad was going to win that match. And but fast forwarding to the title match, I think what's his name? Who's the guy that's commentating with Michael Cole again?
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. I think he said something that was so interesting the other night. Why did Gunther feel the need to attack Sami? Is he worried about him? No, but it shows this worry though. It shows this worry that Gunther hasn't had with previous opponents. It's like you got to go out of your way to demolish this guy. Are you worried about him? Are you concerned? And so I don't know. Maybe Sami is in line to win the title on Saturday.
I just don't like I like Sami a lot. I would like to see a bigger push for Sami to be in the main event and upper card as opposed to the mid card. Like, we've seen him run with the Intercontinental Championship a couple times already. And so like this is something we've seen before. And like they were making all these like hype about like Sami's like, I'm gonna be a future champion, like you're like, but that implies winning the one you haven't won before. Like he's won, I think, Intercontinental 4 times already or 5 times already. So like this isn't treading new ground. And like, yeah, no one's beaten Gunther, but I don't know that I would book Sami to be the one to do it. And then since you're just going to book him if you're going to book him to lose at WrestleMania, that hurts his credibility to push him up to the top part of the card, to the upper card. And if you book him to win, okay, so he's Intercontinental Champion again. And where does that sort of leave him? He's just going to be in the same place he's been in before. So it like either way they do it, it's not really treading new ground with Sami. And so I was hoping that they would sort of try to take his character in a new, different direction. And I feel like the guy that should beat Gunther for the title is the guy who's holding the NXT title right now, Dragunov, because they had this like classic in NXT Europe he was the one who ended Gunther's reign as like the longest NXT Europe champion or UK champion. And so like there's a built-in storyline, like he's trying to beat another one of his like long reigns. So I kind of hope that's where they go with it. But I don't like what they're doing with Sami Zayn right now, because it's time for him to either try in the main event or to I guess change. Maybe he has to be heel again. But I don't need to see another Intercontinental run from Sami Zayn.
What Jet's saying is true. It shouldn't be Sami. Like he's done the Intercontinental title before. Because he got the push and the rub from the bloodline, he should definitely be gunning for the top title, and the world heavyweight title is there for not, I wouldn't say the taking, but he should be in world heavyweight title matches. I don't care if it's a triple threat, fatal 4, or if he goes one-on-one with whoever, he should get the belt. He's done enough to
right. Like Mike, wouldn't it make sense if Gunther beats Sami, or sorry, if Drew McIntyre beats Seth? We're going to talk about that, I know. Then Sami and Drew have already had this past of the past couple of months. They've been sort of feuding, and that you elevate Sami to chasing the heavyweight championship then. But if you book him and he loses to Gunther at WrestleMania, why is he suddenly going to be in a world title feud? That doesn't make sense.
The same way they're building up Sami right now with this, he needs to train and he needs to prove he can do. They could have done that with a twist. Like, obviously, maybe not WrestleMania, but somewhere down the line with whoever has the world heavyweight title. Build Sami up as a guy like, I haven't had the big one yet. So I need to train. I need to work hard. Right. I need to do this, that, and third so I can make it and get the big one. But I tell y'all this, the guy who needs to beat Gunther, and I know this is later on predictions and future stuff, but like the guy who needs to beat Gunther for the belt is still on the shelf right now. And when he's healthy, which is I'm hoping somewhere later on down this.
Mike, please, dog.
The guy who needs to beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title is Big E.
Oh my God.
I
Big E
I
needs
like.
to be
I
the
don't know
one.
that he's ever going to wrestle again, but I like that.
Which is what it boils down to. Is he ever going to wrestle again? Who knows? But if he decides to come back, the storyline is right there. Big E needs to be the one to take out Gunther. He's so big and bad. Gunther just smacking around, beating around everybody. Let Big E come out there and let him be the one to dethrone. I think it'd be perfect. Like,
I mean, we all love fairy tales,
it's a fairy tale. It's perfect.
It's just with the way that man almost. First of all, if Big E need to beat up anybody, he need to go find Rich Holland.
Rich Holland said he had enough. He's retired.
I think
that's a story.
Personally, like that doesn't need to be televised. You can roll up to his house and handle it. But that's another story. The thing with Sammy, though, right, is Sammy's already had. He faced Roman and lost. He faced Seth and lost. Right. So then, are we gonna start this kind of rinse and repeat thing where he keeps getting championship?
Yeah, but he faced Roman and lost because he was interfered with, like every single other Roman match.
Let's not do this.
Yeah.
Let's not do this, Jet.
How many times did Roman should have lost that belt?
Here we go.
Back to Intercontinental title again. Yeah,
If I want to go here, just let me know another champion that double stacked his opponents in a triple threat match.
As his last clean win.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all still wearing masks at that point in time.
Yeah.
Well, when you spit that kind of gibberish, put it back on.
Okay, all right. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's
wait.
It
I want to know who Sam thinks should dethrone Gunther.
I agree with you. Actually, I think it should be Dragunov. If not Dragunov, then I would go Braun Breaker.
Yeah, that's another person. Thing. Someone needs to, because he's undefeated, so someone should get the. Sammy doesn't need that rub.
No, he does not.
Yeah, needs to be somebody that needs to get put over. That's going to be dominant for years to come.
Or it could still be Sheamus. Like he comes back because he's still trying to be a Grand Slam champion. Like, and he's like, that's all I could think about while I was hurt.
Sheamus should get the belt whenever it comes off of Gunther.
So off the next guy who beats Gunther.
Yeah,
I would not believe Sheamus beating Gunther clean.
No. He got a shot too. He got a shot.
He beat his ass a couple times, but
yeah. So got two more matches here on night one. We have the women's world heavyweight title match, Rhea versus Becky. How do y'all feel about this match? I think I don't feel the hype too much for this match. I get it's two big stars. Rhea, Becky, it's two massive stars. But something about it for me personally, the hype's just it feel like it could be more, but it's not more for me for some reason, and I don't know why.
I'll tell you why. Because it's missing something.
Fill me in.
2 words. Nia Jax.
Oh,
come on, man.
Think it should be a triple threat match?
Sam, just because you have an unrealistic attraction to Nia Jax.
Jet. That's chat business. That's chat business. Okay. Leave that there. Thanks.
Why do you think Nia should be in there?
Because she's already been intertwined with this feud the whole time. And
she lost to both of them.
But she's been so intertwined in it so much that Becky and Rhea haven't had that much time to build their own one-on-one feud. You see, they're trying to rush it now, where now all of a sudden 2 women that barely interacted, now whenever they see each other, they see red and they have to be separated. Like that's not organic. But they both had real beef with Nia Jax. So why not just add her into the triple threat match? I think that elevates
can't wrestle.
Because we haven't had a Becky versus Rhea match. This is also a match that needs to happen for the history books, so to say. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna get these two heavyweights, and we're gonna see who's gonna top one another. And I personally think it should be Rhea. I don't see why Becky should win the title. She doesn't need the title. I think that you need because in my opinion, Rhea has still yet to legitimize herself as a real heavyweight champion. I feel like beating Nia Jax was huge, but I feel like this right here, beating Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, would do more for Rhea than what would it do for Becky if she
Yeah.
goes over. You know what I mean? And so, I too felt like honestly, it was that promo a couple weeks ago where Rhea talked about her daughter, right? I think that's when the story lit a fuse a little bit. But before that, I was perfectly fine with this match being off the card. Honestly. But now that after that promo, after last night, I feel like they've really done well to bring the story, bring life to it. And now I want to see Rhea go over. And Rhea should go over.
I feel like there always comes a time. Well, yeah, there always comes a time where when there's champions, sometimes the person who defeat the champion needs to be like, oh, another star in the company who's trying to get the shot at the title. And sometimes the person who beats the champion needs to be a young up and coming star that's slowly starting to build. I think for Rhea, I think she should go over Becky. And the time she loses the belt needs to be to somebody young and up and coming trying to make their mark in the company. Becky has made her mark in the company. Will she get a title reign again? Probably, most likely. But I think whenever Rhea needs to lose the belt or is going to lose the belt, it needs to be to somebody who is trying to make a splash in the company for the first time, not somebody who's been well established. That's my opinion.
I think either that or if Bianca wins, which I think they're going to.
That's a money match too.
She'll be 5-0 at WrestleMania, Bianca. And so, and if Rhea retains all the way to next year's WrestleMania, you could have a Bianca's streak against Rhea's, title reign.
That's a money match right there as well.
I think is a WrestleMania main event match. Like I think that's the match people want to see is Rhea versus Bianca.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Of people's list. So that's I think another reason why I think Rhea is going to retain. I think they want to build Rhea into a female Roman. Just have her be just dominant and turn back everybody, except for she wins clean.
She's 3-0, Jet. Just 3.
Bianca's 3-0. I thought she'd wrestle at more WrestleManias than that.
Nah, she hasn't been around that long.
No, so she could be 4-0.
Yeah.
Well, either way, let's move on because we got the main event of night one, which will be Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, teaming up against The Rock, the final boss, and the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, in a tag match. I see the shirt. I feel you. Listen, man, I'll tell you something. Now, I've been waiting to get to this part of the show. The Rock has come back and really brought more life to the business. And not saying that they needed The Rock, because I know that we didn't need your Rock. The wrestling was already cool. I get it. Wrestling already cool with The Rock. It probably would have been, WrestleMania would have been fine without The Rock. But I tell you what, if it was already cool and hot and popping, Rock just put another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 layers on top of that with the work that he's doing. And I know he came back. When The Rock comes back every now and then over the years, it's like, okay, Rock, same old little corny jokes, but we still love it because it's The Rock and he can deliver it. It's funny. Him tapping into this heel role, and yeah, it's Hollywood Rock, but it's nothing like 2003 Hollywood Rock. It's another level on top of that. He's really transformed himself and the character to another level, and he's just brought so much more, obviously, attention to the product, but just in terms of building this tag match and having to spin the whole storyline of, first it was going to be Rock and Roman, now it's going to be like, he's done, the team's done, the Triple H, whoever's involved, they've done a fantastic job where this tag match, obviously has garnered a lot of interest. And I think the Rock being there week after week, making surprise appearances and whatnot. He wasn't supposed to be at Raw in Chicago, and he showed up and beat the hell out of like, it's just been beautifully written, and a lot of it is because of The Rock. Like, yeah, Roman Reigns is slightly taking a back seat. That's just what it is. Cody's doing his part to be the ultimate babyface. Seth Rollins is doing his job to be, hey, Cody, I got your back no matter what you need. I got you. But Rock is really elevated night one's main event to another level, and he's done a tremendous job.
Talk about that for foreshadowing. Roman Reigns is already taking back seats. He's going to continue to take back seats, but not Saturday night. Saturday night, Rock and Roman will be victorious.
Yeah.
Sunday night will be Bloodline rules, and I'm fine with that because it's only going to. Leo, was I heated 365 days ago when Cody lost? Yeah, but
you were more than that, brother.
You know what was so interesting, actually?
Dave and I were pissed.
Oh, I was pissed, man. I was heated.
I remember.
I don't even know. I don't know if Mike. I don't even know anymore. He just keeps going back and forth.
Heated,
who he likes.
I remember.
You didn't shock me.
Mike a flip flopper, man. He's a flip flopper.
I remember driving back from last year's podcast recording and finishing the episode of Busted Open Radio, and Bully Ray was like, Cody shouldn't win. He hasn't been through enough. And that was before last year's WrestleMania. And Saturday night is just going to tie off what needs to happen. Cody's gonna get his ass kicked, and then we're gonna open the door for Bloodline rules, and then the deck will be stacked against Cody, and he's gonna come out on top. So I will be happy to see Roman go over Saturday night, because that's the only time he's going over this weekend.
I feel like I want to take a lot of credit for what's happened with The Rock, because I was on the team We Want Cody. We had a lot of people in chat being like, no, like, oh, Roman versus Rock, it's a dream match. Like, imagine what The Rock's promos would have been like if he was a babyface during this whole time. We would not have gotten nearly as good of, like,
He'd dry as hell.
He'd be calling Roman like a Rudy Poo and like candy ass Roman. We'd get getting the same stuff over and over again. Like, this is peak Rock. Also, I want to point out, like, yeah, Rock's had a really nice movie career. He's very bankable. Like, this is what he's best at. Like, this is what he's best at in the world. Yeah. You could argue he's the best at it of anybody in the world. Like, at cutting promos and doing this, working heel, working babyface. He was born to do this. This is his natural calling. Like, he could continue to have as big of a movie career as he's had in the past 10, 15 years. He'll always still be best at this. This is what he's best at. That's not an insult. Like, think of how many great wrestlers there's been and great people at cutting promos. He's the best at it. And you've seen that because he is getting to do things that you weren't expecting him to do. And that's in large part because of smart people like me who didn't want to see predictable Rock's the babyface, Roman's the heel. There's no way in a million years Rock would have won that match one-on-one. Like, we just didn't need it. There's so much more unpredictability here. Like, I agree. I think on Saturday, Rock and Roman go over. Otherwise, why have the Bloodline rules stipulation even be floating out there? Exactly. But I wouldn't bet my life on it. And I certainly wouldn't bet my life on any storyline that Triple H is telling or something that's going on with The Rock right now. I think the build's been so good. The Rock's done so much. It has made Roman, like you said, look sort of secondary. But Roman's strength's never been cutting promos, and The Rock just happens to be, like I said, the best ever at it. And credit to Cody Rhodes, who's hung right there with him with cutting promos this whole time. He's done a really good job. Seth is really good at cutting promos too, but Cody and Rock are in the class of their own. The other guy who I think is doing amazing, even though he hasn't been involved in this, is Drew McIntyre. Cuts a hell of a promo too. I know we'll talk about him later, but yeah, I'm excited for the tag match because I don't 100% know what's going to happen. But I think that this is the best. This is the best case scenario what we could have gotten out of Rock's return.
Well, Jack, can you in 30 seconds lay out what happens if Cody and Seth win on Saturday night? So how does that work into the match the next night?
Yeah, I don't know if they win. I still think that I think that Bloodline just goes back on the words and there's still interference. Like every time Roman does that. So I guess that's it. But it's much more. It makes more sense to me. And I know we're going to talk about the main event on Sunday night plenty. What makes sense to me, just like a little preview, and this is what I wanted to see happen last year, was people get involved to stop the Bloodline from taking over the match. Like, people have been screwed by last year. I was hoping it was everybody that Roman had ever beaten before by getting screwed. And it was like, they're coming out of the woodwork, like Sammy's coming out of the woodwork, KO, all these people to stop it. And they kind of did, but Roman still won because Solo somehow got kicked out and then came back, and another just stupid bloodline thing. But this year, I kind of have a feeling John Cena's going to be involved. I kind of have a feeling Stone Cold's going to be involved.
Stone Cold has nothing to do with it.
Him and The Rock, though, have a thing.
I guess. I mean, sure. That'd be random if Stone Cold came out and just stunned people. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Malarkey, please.
What you feeling, Sam?
We gotta let Sam. Yeah, we gotta let the bloodline, the honorary
about night
bloodline
one,
members
Sam.
speak.
Night one main event.
So, to Jet, granted, kudos to you because you were the lone person saying that the Cody and Roman match was the better story, right? But I'll say we prefaced that by saying we had no idea that The Rock was gonna come back. If it wasn't Rock versus Roman, we didn't know that Rock was gonna come back and be a heel to go up against Cody and Seth. We didn't know that was the alternative. If we had any idea that was what was going to be coupled in with Roman and Cody having a rematch at WrestleMania, I think we all would have agreed that would have been better.
Do you hear that noise? Is it Sam? It's a backtrack. It sounds like a truck backing up, and Sam.
He's walking back his tape.
No, see, the thing is,
walking back his tape.
Yeah, you never been to my house. I live on a one-way street, so that's every car back up. So that's just cars outside, right? Anyway, so if we again, maybe you foreshadowed it in a way that the rest of us couldn't. That Rock being involved and not going up against Roman would have automatically made him a heel. If you were able to see that before any of us, kudos to you. Me, maybe you have connections that the rest of us don't. I don't know.
No,
a
just a big brain. Just a big brain.
You know what I'm saying? So kudos to you on that. I have no problem giving credit where credit is due, right? Except for Dave. He ain't getting nothing from me. But
fine.
I will say I think for night one, obviously the best outcome for everybody is for the bloodline to be victorious so that this bloodline rules the next day, right? Because other people are going to get involved. Seth is going to get involved. I don't know I've heard rumblings about John Cena and Stone Cold. I don't think the Stone Cold thing would be a good idea because last time we saw Stone Cold in the ring, he could barely get his leg up to do a stunner, and like
that's Vince McMahon's fault.
Well, a lot of things are, but we don't know if this man's in any shape to do anything physical in the ring that wouldn't just kind of make him look like a decrepit old man. Now, John Cena entering, okay, well, the last time we saw him in action, he was getting his ass beat by Solo. So
the last time Solo won a match. That's actually true. That's the last time.
Yeah, he's like 30. He's like 0-39 since then, which is
crazy.
The ultimate burial job. But we'll get to that another day. So I could see John Cena interfering and anybody else that been screwed by the bloodline. Making this kind of Avengers super team to come out of Wakanda and try to dethrone the bloodline. Now, my thing is this.
Here we go.
I agree with Mike. I want Roman to win, but my reason for wanting Roman
to Mike win, doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know.
You jump in the gun, say we ain't even get to night 2 yet.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying the only reason I want Roman to win is because I don't want Hulk to have that record anymore. Because Hulk.
No one wants him to have the record, but it's like
so
you go sacrifice for storytelling.
I promise you, after that, like Roman could lose the belt the day after. It could happen in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't care where it happens.
I'll be getting the shit, bro.
I don't care, but he just needs to beat Hulk. He doesn't need to beat Bruno's record.
Oh, please, God!
Just please get Hulk out of here. That's all I want. That is all I want.
All right, let's shift over to night 2, man, because obviously we got to talk about the main event. But let's quickly zoom through night 2 with some of our thoughts and feelings on the storyline. a match that just got made very recently, within the last day or two, is the Philadelphia Street Fight, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, which I'm confused why they don't have a name or why they're just not the Hurt Business. But Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament.
Aren't they called the Pride?
They're called the Pride, but they keep going back and forth on using it and not using it.
Stupid. I don't know why they just don't continue with the Hurt Business name. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, there'd be new members of the Hurt Business, but that's how factions go over the years. It's still Bobby Lashley. Why is it just not okay? We got Street Profits. This is the Hurt Business. Just because MVP's not there.
That's without MVP. And where the hell is MVP?
Which also doesn't make sense because he can still be the manager of the Hurt Business, just with 2 new members in the Street Profits. So. It's that match is whatever to me. Obviously, as much as I love Bobby Lashley and Street Profits are whatever, I think Street Profits probably should have broke up a little while ago. I need to see Karrion Kross on a different level, man. I need to see him take off. And obviously, he got a good faction around him with Authors of Pain, and that their manager don't make no sense to me. I don't know.
Sam and I were talking about this during the pre-show. Why they have 2 managers in that faction?
Yeah, Scarlett and the other dude, Eldridge. I don't even know his name. Paul
Ellering,
whatever. Whatever his name is. I need to see Karrion Kross be taken into a different level. Like, he deserves a major push. Whatever push he had in NXT, they need to carry that over to the main roster. And now he has a faction around him to help build it. So that's how I feel about that storyline. I don't know if you guys have much to add there.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to do something with the storyline. It's been the same thing over and over for the last couple months now, right? So Street Profits and Bobby get a little bit of momentum. AOP tears them down. I mean, it's been more of the same nonsense, to be honest with you. And so hopefully Sunday night should either bring this story to a whole different level or put a cap on the story. That's it.
Triple H, for all the good he does, has no idea how to book Bobby Lashley or Karrion Kross, which is weird because he booked Karrion Kross in NXT. But Bobby Lashley, 2 years in a row. Last year he wasn't even at WrestleMania because the whole thing was Bray Wyatt.
He did a quick show. He popped out, said hi, and that was it.
That was weird too. That they're like, here's the winner of the Battle Royal that nobody cares about.
Disrespectful.
Bobby Lashley is a main eventer and should be booked like a main eventer. He looks like a main eventer. He wrestles like a main eventer. He should be a main eventer. He's won the title twice. Like, he should be in the main event picture all the time. He should either be chasing a title or be holding a title. Like, period.
Agreed.
And he's just like, he's got that type of presence with his entrance, his moveset, his physique that is just like, you can't find that anywhere else on the roster. Like, he should be constantly in the main event. They're having him in these stupid little feuds don't matter. Like, he should not be in this spot.
Always be fighting for one of the 4 single male type. Like, it should,
because it's not like he's just strong either. Like, he's a great wrestler. Like,
he can move.
Should always be involved in one of those 4 titles for sure. We can quickly move on to LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Yeah,
I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that one. It should be a good match. I'm not sure about the story, but it should be a good match. I think it should be a good match.
I'm disappointed that LA Knight is not doing more. Like, AJ Styles, it's a good matchup. Yeah, AJ Styles is not
Mike,
a bum.
It's whose fault it is. It's Roman Reigns' fault. Why LA Knight got popular, as he should have, because he was organically getting popular, and they fed him too early to Roman Reigns, where obviously he wasn't going to win, and that stopped a lot of his momentum.
Yeah, now that I look back at that, it wasn't good.
Did Roman book that match?
Probably.
It wasn't a good call. Now that I look back at it, I know they wanted to just do it based off of LA Knight's popularity, but like, it served
people like some of y'all pushing him too early. He wasn't.
No, he deserved a push, but to push him
for the brightest of light.
He wasn't ready for the main title. He should have been.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to lose for the main title. Like, it just made no sense to book him in a match he had 0 chance of winning.
Yeah, no matter how much good talking and LA Knight and all of that, no matter how much she did that, everybody knew that him beating Roman wasn't happening. As much as I was on the hype train, like he should not have been put in that position. Because now I get it. Like I said, AJ Styles is still a solid match as a big name star, but like, what does the match mean? Nothing to me.
Yeah.
But I'm still an LA Knight fan. I'm hoping that they get it right and put a belt around his waist later on this year. So let's keep it going. We also have now we got the title matches. The women's title match, Io Sky versus Bayley. Similar to the other world heavyweight match for the women's belt.
No, this one's got a much better story.
The story of this one makes more sense to me. Where the belt needs to come off of Io. I'm sorry. She does nothing for me as a champion. I get it. She's in damage control, but like as a champion, what is she really doing?
And this is, I mean, I hate to bring this up as an issue against Io, but having a main champion that doesn't speak English,
Not connecting with the audience at all. She's just there with the belt on her shoulder. And it's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate.
You know what's weird is I've seen her interviews. She does speak English. She has she doesn't have a super thick, like she has an accent, but it's not like a crazy thick accent.
But they don't even try, Jet.
No, they don't even try
to give the mic.
And neither do they do that with the Kabuki Warriors. So so Dakota Kai is the de facto translator, interpreter, and manager for all three of them, which makes them, not as appealing as champions because they can never cut their own promos.
Which is why, unfortunately, the belt needs to come off of her.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania, and go from there. So
I love Bayley. She's one of my favorites. Like I think she's done a great job. Like she's super selfless. She's put other people over. Like she works hurt. She's she's changed her persona several times and it's always worked for her. Like she got over organically as a babyface to begin with in NXT, then a heel, then a heel again with different type of heel with damage control, and then like overnight she won the Royal Rumble, picked Io, and people embraced her as a babyface too. Like that takes skill. And so I think she deserves a title reign. I think it'll be a good match because Io is a really good wrestler. Bayley's a really good wrestler. I think it's an interesting story too. But I don't know what damage control is after WrestleMania.
I don't know what damage control is after Bayley, to be honest with you.
Well, they'll still be the tag champions because
that's true. They'll have that as their calling card.
That'll be what they'll hang their heads off on that, and then
until Bianca and Jade or Naomi take the belts off of them. Because
wouldn't the money match though down the line be Io, like a fatal 5-way, Io, Kyrie, Asuka, Dakota, and Bayley for the title?
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Well, if they're gonna split up, then that would be great. I don't know down the road eventually, but I think
like a SummerSlam match.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
I'll tell you what, I think Bayley's first defense of the title is going to be against Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see how that goes. Let's talk about another championship match. The United States title match, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. Logan Paul should not be fighting either one of those guys at WrestleMania. I'm sorry.
He fought Seth Rollins last year.
Yeah. He did, but
it was a good match.
He is like a great wrestler by accident.
Yeah, I don't know why Mike hates on him.
I don't hate Logan Paul. I hate the fact that he's fighting Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I just don't think that's. I think he could have been better utilized. Sorry, he should have been fighting LA Knight. I think him and LA Knight could have had a really good storyline.
I agree. Program. That would have been a really good program. I think that should have been.
I love Randy. Kevin Owens is solid, but like I think him and LA Knight would have put on a very entertaining storyline. Because what's the storyline right now? Randy Orton and Kevin Owens just want to beat him up. They just want to beat him up. They just want to beat the guy up.
Well, Logan Paul cost Randy Orton, and
there's that aspect.
He's cost them both. He's cost them both gold, right? The whole brass knuckles thing, and now you have Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, who have become like who've had this de facto partnership in terms of getting revenge on Logan Paul. Now they need to fight each other too because they both still want to be champions. So,
Right.
I think if
To be honest with you,
good,
I'm with Mike. I think Logan needs to go over and then set up a match with LA Knight. That's how
I don't think he's too busy though. He's not going to be able to be there with the title all the time.
So you think Kevin Owens, or we could get to the predictions, but I mean, I think Logan Paul needs to hold the belt till SummerSlam.
I think Randy pins KO. I think that's what it is.
Protect Logan, huh? Yeah.
Somebody. And then I think Randy and LA Knight are going to get into a program.
Aren't they in a program?
Randy and LA Knight?
Yeah, this is the. Oh, sorry, I'm confused. I'm thinking of Logan Paul still. Randy and LA Knight, yeah, I could see that. If they ship Randy back to his natural role as a heel, absolutely.
I kind of actually, you know what? Now that I think about it too, like if Randy stays on, he's staying on SmackDown. If Cody wins, which we'll talk about obviously in a minute, he's going to be on SmackDown full time, and that should be his first feud, right?
That's a money match as well. We'll get there. We'll get there for sure. Let's keep it going down.
Meanwhile, about the U.S. title, last thought, I do think it's going to be a really good match because you might hate Logan Paul and like he's an annoying person. He's so good at this and he just puts on bangers. All of his matches have been bangers.
It's going to be an entertaining match. Like Logan Paul's entertaining and Kevin and Randy aren't bums.
And KO will take huge bumps too. Like and it's a triple threat, so there's no DQ.
It's going to be good.
300-pound swanton.
Here's a match that I'm definitely excited for. World Heavyweight title match, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Finally, Drew is in a big money match with, well, not finally, but he's in a big money match where he's created a character that people believe, like his heel character, his character development with this bad guy has been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely amazing how he shifted and turned, and it's just happened so organically, and it's just been great. And this is a match where I believe Seth has done a great job with the World Heavyweight title. They created that title. Seth has done a solid job, but yeah, it's starting to get stale. I ain't gonna lie, it's starting to get stale a little bit. And I think Drew being heel with that belt on Raw can help to elevate it some more. Not saying Seth will never get a chance or never win it again or whatnot, but a change is definitely needed for sure when it comes to that belt. But I like this match. I think Drew is going to be his great, like Clash of the Castle that he had against Roman. That was his shining moment. But this right here, I think this is really it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think I love Drew. I think he's only getting every year he gets better and better. Like he's great on the mic, he's great in the ring. Like he's really fulfilled his full potential of when he first came into the business. And like to be able to do promos, cut promos back and forth with like CM Punk and not lose a step and not feel like you got obliterated on the mic, like that's really, really impressive. And he's got a great look, like great presentation. This character is so fun. Like he's an asshole, but he's really funny. Like the merch with him standing over the CM Punk's grave is hilarious. Did you see he was like driving away from a show one time and like fans were like, boo, Drew Mac. It was in Chicago and he started blasting CM Punk's theme song while he was driving away from them. Like he's legit funny. And I do think, it's time for Seth. I think Seth probably needs a little bit of break because he's hurt.
He does.
So he needs to get rest. And also, I want to see him in a extended program with Roman. Like we have no finality on that program.
But then
that's something I think they can always tap back into as the years go on. As long as Roman stays around, I think that's something that they can always tap back into because it will always be there. They can easily get back into that.
I think that's gonna be one of the main events for WrestleMania next year. No belts involved. Seth and Roman. But we'll talk
You,
about that another day.
ooh, so okay. Well, let's get on to the main event of the night. Finally, undisputed Universal Title match: Roman Reigns versus Cody. His chance to finish the story again. His
It's
chance to
gonna.
finish the story again. How many opportunities does he need? Is this the last one?
Tell you what, man. WrestleMania 41's main event is going to be Rock versus Roman Reigns, because Rock will backstab Roman Reigns on Sunday night.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Oh man!
It's
Either
not
way,
happening, Dave.
either
I
way.
thought about it a little bit, but the fact that they've done this, beat the hell out of Cody, and there's no way you turn your back after the beat down and everything they've showed us these last couple of weeks. Like, they're solidified, they're locked in. There hasn't been any hints or Easter eggs to Rock and Roman
I don't know,
having,
man. This right here, bro.
but he
This
didn't even
thing
do
right
that.
here.
He didn't even do that Monday night.
I don't know, bro. I'm keeping that in mind. I'm keeping that option open for me personally.
May I?
Go ahead,
I
Sam.
don't know, Sam. I don't know. Back in pussy. Go.
So personally, I think the only way Rock would turn on Roman at this WrestleMania is if there was a way for him to win the belt and take over the bloodline away from Roman, right? Because if you think about it, like Mike is saying, it's not like you're not going to beat Seth and Cody up and then turn around and do them a favor and
Makes no sense.
help them win a belt, right? So you don't want them to have the belt. You obviously don't want Roman to have the belt because you want to take everything from Roman because you feel like you should be the head of the table. You feel like you're the reason that this family has gotten to the heights that it's gotten to. Like, there's no Roman Reigns without The Rock, right? So what do you want to do? You want to take everything from him. That includes his title. You don't want to beat him and then have the title go to someone else. No, if you're going to do that, you want to take that title for yourself. So unless there's a way for The Rock to pin Roman after getting involved and then finding a way to make the bloodline also turn on Roman and then crowning The Rock the new head of the table and then the new tribal chief, anything else just wouldn't make sense.
Here's how it's gonna go. This is what I'm gonna spit some knowledge right now. This is what's gonna happen. If I was booking it, this is what would happen. This is what I'm hoping is gonna
Let's
happen.
hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh, God, you're not.
All right, Cody's gonna win because at this point, if he doesn't, no one's gonna believe in him anymore. He can't go over 2. So Cody wins. He faces The Rock at SummerSlam 1-on-1. Cody beats The Rock at SummerSlam. The Rock shakes his hand. Roman gets pissed, beats down The Rock. The Rock returns in time for WrestleMania 41. Him versus Roman. Loser retires from WWE forever.
Wow. Wait. Whoa.
That's crazy.
Well, you know what? As crazy that does sound, Rock's not wrestling forever. I mean, Rock needs a retirement match. And Roman, well, here's the thing. Roman has dropped the hints of stepping away. But if he's going to drop the hints of stepping away, you have to keep the belt on him. Because he said, I'm only stepping away if I lose the belt.
Yeah, but what if he loses the belt and then retires, and then Rock is still active, and then faces Cody at SummerSlam and loses, but like shows him respect afterwards, like shakes his hand, does like one of those things in the middle where he points at him. Roman's like, I had to come out to like, this is bullshit. Like The Rock, like is disrespecting the family by shaking the hand of the guy who like took the belt off me, and like, so I think that sets up, and that should be Rock's retirement match is him versus Roman. And then you have it, but you have it believable if Roman's like, I've left before, I'll leave again. Then both of them you could go in the match with saying, I genuinely don't know who's going to retire after this match, Rock or Roman, because they both walked away. That's how I would book it.
So we I don't know if you all have heard, but there are rumblings that Rock is going to take an extended leave after WrestleMania because he's going to be shooting a movie. So does The Rock just pop back up around SummerSlam to
That's
get
what I
this
think. Yeah.
Now, how do we book that without just looking like The Rock was handed an opportunity out of nowhere to be a champion? Because
You mean like he was about to be for WrestleMania?
he wasn't. That
Before
was
you got
different.
before I saved it. Before I saved it.
That was different. That was family business. This is I haven't seen Cody Rhodes in 6 months, and now I get a title shot.
But isn't it family business because he beat the bloodline? He beat the head of the
Cody
table.
would have to challenge him.
No,
Cody would have to challenge him.
the champion doesn't challenge somebody.
Yeah, but it's the final boss.
Would The Rock be coming back to avenge Roman's loss? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so he comes back to avenge Roman's loss after 6 months, and then he loses. He acknowledges Cody, and then because of that, Roman feels disrespected because The Rock acknowledged the person that took everything from Roman.
Right.
And then that's when they get into a feud that leads up to them having a winner. A loser retires from WWE match at the next WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You just hate the bloodline so much.
That would be a great storyline. That would be a great storyline.
I think the only problem I have with that, Jet, I feel like that is the Rock and Roman fighting should be for head of the table supremacy. Are we getting that story in that? You
can't be head of the tail if you're retired.
So it's either the winner is head of the table and the loser retires. That's just what it is.
The problem is what I've always had with the idea that match shouldn't have a title involved. So you need to put something else that's interesting in it. Like, head of the table and retirement. So like, I don't want to see it for a title. It doesn't make any sense.
No, I hear that.
Same thing with like when Roman fought Brock a couple of years ago. Like, there was no reason Brock needed a title in that match. Like, you didn't have to do title for title, and then that led to us having to create a title out of thin air. So like, just let me cook. This is how we should do it. Okay, guys, accept it.
Hey, man.
So then my question, if it's loser retires, right?
Yeah.
If The Rock wins and Roman retires, how much longer does The Rock wrestle? Because now he's the tribal chief, he's the head of the table. So how much longer do we expect him?
Look like it got to be Solo to retire him then.
Yeah. However long he wants. He owns part of the company.
Isn't Solo supposed to be the next tribal chief in line?
Yeah, tribal chief can't go have an 0 for 30 stretch.
No, he can't.
Well, most of that 30 was house
shows.
House shows. So no one. What happens in Des Moines, Iowa stays.
Yo, this is bad,
man. Listen,
anybody watching from Iowa, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you guys got Clark.
Sam don't like you.
They got Caitlin Clark. They'll be fine.
But
Seth Rollins.
True.
That is true. That is true.
No, I really don't like Iowa.
All right.
But no,
go ahead, Dave.
Sunday night, it's going to be the culmination of this entire year of, Cody going through a gauntlet of different challenges. You know what I'm saying? Going through Brock Lesnar, going through Shinsuke, and now going through all of The Rock in the bloodline. This has been crafted perfectly to give even as far as Monday night. Last night, Cody could have been at least standing on top. No, he got beat down again. And it's just all to building up to him going to fight every member of the bloodline to then take out Roman. It would not surprise me one bit if somehow they book Cody to somehow withstand the onslaught from the entire bloodline and still find a way to pin Roman without any help.
Not Cody Thanos.
Okay, I mean, I'm just saying it's not out of the realm of impossibility.
Here's the thing that I've looked at and been reading and trying to understand. Cody winning obviously would be great and cool, amazing pop, this and that. But here's something that I read and which is why I kind of shifted my thinking a little bit. You
Sam
have to.
sent it to you?
No. This is just
That's your last one.
You have the two main belts. You have the Universal Undisputed Championship. You have the World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, yeah, what we're used to from years ago. Oh, the main title getting defended week after week after week. Roman with the Undisputed belt brings a level of interest and excitement due to the fact that, yeah, he's not there often. And it's kind of like, now WWE and UFC have merged, where in UFC, these guys is only popping out once a month and showing up to defend, and it brings excitement when, whoever the champion is in UFC comes out and defends once in a while. And it's like, if Cody wins, obviously Cody's going to be a workhorse. He's going to be there all the time. And yeah, it's cool and all, but while people get sick of the fact that, Roman doesn't show up a lot, he doesn't defend a lot, when he does pop up with that belt, and if they build the right storyline against the right, baby face that he's fighting, it generates that much interest because it's Roman, one, but two, the belt is not something that's dangled and showed up and shown out every single Friday night.
Yeah,
Cody
but that's
wins.
only at WrestleMania, right? Like, no one thought he was going to drop the belt at any other of the PLEs that he fought.
Yeah, but that's just the whole
So
thing.
you're saying, like,
belt.
Okay, once a year Roman has a chance of losing a fight.
Yeah.
But he defends it at the top.
Like,
four.
nobody thought Jey Uso was going to beat him at SummerSlam. Like, if you have your second
man.
biggest
He
event,
defends it at the top four pay-per-view.
Nobody thought that,
but no one thought he was going to lose it.
The last time that there was actually legitimate wonder that Roman was going to lose his belt was either last year's WrestleMania
or against Drew.
Or was against Drew. That was the only two times where I was like, this could actually happen. Other than that, there's no way in hell that Roman was ever going to. And so it's gonna do my heart joy to see Roman count the lights on Sunday. It's gonna do my heart joy to see that bum.
I'm back on the fence again. I'm back
on
the fence. I don't know.
Mike, doesn't it kill Cody Rhodes if Cody doesn't win on Sunday? Doesn't it kill
also
Cody
true.
Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes loses all credibility.
Yeah,
so you're killing your biggest baby face on the whole roster. The biggest baby face you had in years.
I'm back on the fence. I don't know.
Because there's no way to protect him in that loss anyways. You know what I mean? You can't protect Cody in that loss. He's gonna take the L, and that's gonna do him horribly.
Unless the plan is sorry, Dave. Unless the plan is to give Cody the belt at like SummerSlam or
no. At this point, he's got to finish the story as WrestleMania.
It has to be.
Can't be at SummerSlam anymore.
Okay, all right.
And plus, I think no matter what, a heel is gonna win the World Heavyweight title, whether it be Drew or Priest cash it in. I think having two heel world champions isn't gonna do well for storylines. It has to be Cody. Cody has to take that and
someone was saying, I saw on Twitter that Damian Priest has got to be the dumbest wrestler in the history.
Right.
Like Seth Rollins getting just like beat up constantly. Last night, laid out. Damian Priest is just like arguing over darts in the back.
No, it's pretty bad.
It makes sense.
A lot of things. Sorry, Mike. A lot of things Triple H has thought through really, really well. They had no idea what they were doing when they put the Money in the Bank briefcase on Priest. And I like Priest. They had no clue what they were doing. No clue.
Should not have been him.
And that's why there's so many theories out there, like the one with Balor switching out the briefcases and the real contract being somewhere else. Mm-hmm. That's like, you can say whatever you want because this doesn't make any sense. So anything's on the table, I guess.
Including Roman losing.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We got all the matches. We talked about the storylines. We're going to go quickly around. We're going to go quickly around with our predictions. Like, obviously, you could say either you just feel like this person winning, that person winning, or if you feel like some funny business is going to be played into the final result. But we're going to go through the list. And
Mike, I think you should keep track. Whoever gets the most right gets other three pay for a T-shirt from WWE.com.
Well, friendly wagers.
I don't do gambling and stuff like that, Jet. I'm not a gambler.
My T-shirt. I told you my shirt's coming in late, so I need now more.
Listen.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
If you want to do that and set that up with Dave and Cool Sam, I don't get it to gamble. Fantasy sports.
We'll have friendly wagers because we're all going to be watching WrestleMania together.
That is true.
Thanks to
That
Dave.
is true.
So we'll have some friendly wagers on there.
Sam, I will kick you out if Roman wins.
That's fine. That's fine because your wife runs that house and she thinks I'm great.
Hey,
So
yo, come on.
I'll be
wild.
fine.
You're
I'll
wild.
be fine.
You're
I'll be
wild.
fine.
All right, let's
Just
go through the list.
saying.
Let's go through the list real quick and just give your predictions for the match results. All right, let's start it off on night one again. Damage Control versus Bianca, Naomi, and Jade. Let's go around. Sam, who you got?
I got the black women.
The black man.
Jet.
I agree with Sam.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Oh, man.
Dave.
Man, I got Jade, Bianca, and Naomi, man.
Okay, cool. That's unanimous. I also did not having Jade lose her first match.
That's
And
wild.
not having Bianca lose. They don't give a damn about Naomi too much, but they're not having those two women lose.
The Bianca thing is not so much for me because it's not a singles match, but it's the Jade thing.
They're not having Jade lose her first match.
Also, they love nothing more than to just keep burying the women's tag team titles. They're just like,
oh yeah, this is fun for them.
All right, I think we got another unanimous one here. Jimmy Uso versus Jay Uso. Dave, who you have?
I got Jay.
Sam, who do you have?
I got Jimmy.
Okay.
He's
Jay.
so cute.
Yeah, yeet. Jay.
Okay, going Jay. Yeah. Well, the bloodline is winning. I think that Jay's gonna win. Jay's gonna win. All right.
Interference?
Solo's gonna get involved. How much interference he's gonna have, I don't know, because like I said, he might be torn between the two and back up. But I have Jay coming out on top as well. Jimmy just doesn't have enough behind him to come out of WrestleMania with a win. Main event, Jay Uso's winning out WrestleMania.
Jimmy's gonna win because of a brand new surprise member of the bloodline.
Fatu?
I don't know.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, let's keep it going down the line. We have
Umaga
say it again.
Just
cut Jet's feed now.
We have the undisputed tag team title match. Who do you think is winning? And we'll do it like this. Who's grabbing the Raw titles and who's grabbing the SmackDown titles? Let's start with Jet here.
Judgment Day and Awesome Truth.
So which one's getting which?
Who's getting the Raw and who's getting the SmackDown?
You don't know.
Rhea's gonna stay on Raw, so Judgment Day will get Raw.
Okay, Awesome Truth to SmackDown. I don't know if they'll split up Awesome Truth from Judgment Day because I think they have something there. But okay, interesting. Sam, who do you have?
I have DIY winning SmackDown belts, and I have Awesome Truth winning the Raw SmackDown belt. I mean the Raw belts.
All right, Dave.
I got DIY getting Raw, Catch Republic getting SmackDown.
Interesting. I have DIY getting Raw, and if they stay in the match, I want to see Austin Theory and Grayson Waller grab the SmackDown belts.
Just obnoxious.
I want to see Grayson Waller get a little bit more limelight. That's just me.
Yeah, I hear you. It's about time.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it going. Intercontinental title match. Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Dave, who do you have winning this one?
I want to say Sammy, but I think it's going to be Gunther.
Yeah, smart choice.
Cool. Sam, you going with Gunther as well?
Come on, dog.
Yeah, Gunther is there.
Because Sam's a heel. In every fiber as a being, he's an evil person. That's fine.
Jet, who you got, man?
Sammy wins, but Gunther should. But Sammy wins.
Sammy wins?
Yeah, but Gunther should win. I disagree with the booking.
I don't think Sammy's the guy to knock off Gunther. Gunther's gonna retain. Gunther's gonna retain. That's who I have.
Sammy's gonna lose, but he'll get a nice standing ovation at the end of the match.
Oh yeah, he's gonna give a hell of a battle. Hell of a battle. What I
Good
think
effort.
might happen, Chad Gable might interfere and maybe cost Sammy the win.
Or
Then we
one of
got to
those.
see a Gable Sami Zayn feud.
Sure.
Again, to go back to what Jeff's saying, man, no matter what happens in this match, it does nothing for Sammy.
There's nothing for Sammy. So let Sammy and Chad feud and whatever. Have a freaking submission match at No Way Out or whatever's.
Let them fight over the Academy.
Let them fight at the Great American Bash or whatever's next. Who cares?
That was a microaggression.
All right. I didn't even mention this match. I'm so sorry. Oh no, yeah, I didn't mention this match. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Escobar and Dominic.
You skipped it for a reason.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I did.
Double
Quick
count out.
predictions.
Everybody loses.
Everybody loses. I think
Yeah.
they'll give Rey the win.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll give Ray the win.
yeah.
No, I take it back.
Yeah, I
think Dominic and Santos win.
Sure.
Domino's
Yeah,
and Santos need to be elevated. Dragon Lee ain't nothing of importance yet, and Ray has done enough. Like he can give his son. He beat his son last year. He can give his son the one this year.
Plus, if you put Dominic and Santos together, you get Domino's.
Okay, moving on.
True.
Moving on. Golly, go to sleep.
All right, moving on. We have the women's world heavyweight title match: Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Who do you guys have?
Mommy's always on top.
Yeah, Rhea.
It's pretty clear here.
Unanimous. Okay, Rhea's gonna take home and retain the belt. And obviously, the last match of night one is Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Bloodline rules. Is the Bloodline getting the win?
Yeah,
Roman
Bloodline-
wins to set up his own downfall on Sunday.
Yeah, Bloodline wins. I don't know who's gonna take the pin though.
That's interesting. Let it be Cody. Stack everything against him.
Who pins him, Roman or The Rock?
The Rock.
The Rock.
Sam being
I
suspiciously
think
quiet.
I think Roman pins Cody, but I think Rock offers Cody up to Roman. Like he'll give Cody the rock bottom or something, or the
People's
people
elbow.
and then he'll let Roman cover him as like a homage to his tribal chief.
Can heel Rock do the people's elbow?
Why not? What's wrong with the people's elbow? He was doing the corporate.
It's a very baby face move.
You
I
wanna do
mean,
the
he had
corporate
the
elbow?
corporate elbow back in the day.
Hollywood elbow?
Hollywood final boss elbow. I don't know. Something. But he could do that. Looking forward to seeing the elbow drop on whoever it is. All right. That's night one. Night two predictions. Philadelphia street fight. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Hurt Business, whatever you want to call them, versus the Final Testament.
Hurt Business.
You going Hurt Business? Sam, who you taking?
I got Scarlet.
Right, Jet?
Lashley and the Street Profits. As much as he doesn't know how to book Bobby Lashley, he knows how to book Karrion Kross even worse.
Jeez, I'm taking the Final Testament. You got to do something.
You have to.
They put a lot of stock, they put a lot of effort in building them promo videos for the Final Testament. They better come out on top of WrestleMania.
Isn't the problem that whichever team loses is just completely buried, right?
Well, they need to break up the Street Profits anyway. And I'm telling you, if there's a way to maybe start to elevate Montez Ford, who we all think is the next breakout star, Bobby Lashley turns heel and blames the Street Profits for the loss, and Montez Ford takes him on one-on-one.
Montez should turn heel.
I think
Montez should turn heel.
Yeah, people don't like to boo Bobby Lashley.
And Bobby Lashley did. And Bobby Lashley did. Bobby Lashley did say that he's gonna revert back to some old Bobby Lashley stuff.
I think the Street Profits are gonna turn on Bobby because Bobby was supposed to lead them to the promised land, and they haven't been winning since they let Bobby be in charge. And I think they jump Bobby, and then guess who comes out? MVP and Omos. Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. There's your Hurt Business now.
I would love to see a resurgence of the Hurt Business. All right, let's keep it
Babyface
going.
Hurt Business.
No, heel Hurt Business. I think the Street Profits turn heel.
No, I'm saying no. But if Omos and MVP come out to help Bobby, isn't that the Hurt Business?
No, I'm saying they come out. They come out
to help the
Profits.
Street Profits. Oh, I see what you're saying.
And there's your new Hurt Business.
Who's the leader of the Hurt Business?
Well, MVP is still the manager, but he'll be managing the Street Profits, and now Omos could be on TV again.
They
I want
don't
to see
need.
Omos cutting promos.
No, they
No,
don't.
MVP. Nobody needs to talk but MVP. Nobody.
Omos does not need to be on TV anymore. But let's continue. We have LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Jet, who you got?
It has to be LA Knight. He can't lose this unless you want to just completely kill all of his momentum.
Agreed. I'm taking LA as well. Sam?
Because I want to say LA Knight, but something in me tells me that the Good Brothers are gonna get involved because they're just gonna, as much as AJ's, basically shitted on them for the last few months, they're still loyal to him.
Aren't they in a match at the NXT event before?
Yeah, that's like 8 hours earlier.
Okay.
So I think they'll still be around. And
you got Styles winning.
I got Styles winning.
Dave, who you got?
I got LA.
All right. Let's now move on to the title matches. Io Sky versus Bayley for the women's title. I have Bayley because Io doesn't need to carry it anymore, and Bayley deserves it for everything she's done and been through. Are we unanimous here? I think we're unanimous here.
I'm Bayley.
You see how thick she is.
That has nothing to do
Someone
with
was going to mention that. I just didn't know.
Her and Naomi need to be on a tag team.
Oh man,
Jack.
They can throw Rhea in there too, just to.
Mark.
You know what? Let me get back. Let me focus. All right, United States title match: the triple threat: Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. Dave, who do you got?
Randy.
Jet.
Kevin.
I was Randy, but thinking about Cody potentially winning, I'm gonna say KO.
Sam.
I got Logan.
I too have Logan retaining that belt.
Who's he pin?
Logan is going to pin Kevin Owens.
Yep. After Randy's gonna RKO KO. Logan's gonna hop back into the ring, throw Randy out of the ring, and take the pin.
Something like that, sure. All right. World Heavyweight title match: Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. I have Drew finally getting the belt in front of a live audience for sure, so Seth can go really recover.
Yeah.
I got Drew winning. Sam.
I have the Pride of Scotland.
Jet.
Drew, but the CM Punk being at ringside is kind of throwing a weird wrinkle on it. Like he's gonna get involved, right? It's. I know he hates Seth Rollins too, but I feel like he hates Drew more right now.
Yeah, that's gonna
right.
Be
like he's not gonna be out there just to do commentary. He's gonna interfere in some way, isn't he?
Right.
Well, I think he'll do commentary, and then someone's gonna get thrown into him, and then he's gonna try to get involved. And I think he's gonna aim to hit Seth, and he's gonna end up.
No, he's gonna aim to hit Drew,
and he's gonna hit Seth,
and that's probably part of the reason. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I still think Drew, but CM Punk's gonna be involved.
I got Drew, then Damian Priest.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys, think Damian cashes in at all here?
I don't even think there's cash in there.
He's gonna lose the Raw tag. He's gonna lose the tag titles, he's gonna
have to make a splash.
Yeah,
it's either Drew or Damian walking out with that belt. It's just not gonna be Seth.
It's not gonna be Seth.
Okay, understood. And last but not least, the big one: Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed Universal title. Who walks out night 2 as the new Universal Undisputed Champion?
Sam, who you got, Sam?
No. I don't
You
know who I
know I
want to
go
start with
last
here.
on this one. You know I go last.
Who do I want to start?
Slick. You think you're slick.
Dave, you started off.
Run a boss.
Who do you got, Dave?
Well, listen, man. I have Roman Reigns
You got Roman Reigns.
finally.
Oh,
Count
swerve.
I knew he was doing that. Y'all fell for the theatrics.
I have Roman Reigns finally counting those beautiful lights. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, and then he can go off to obscurity for all I care.
Jeez.
Okay.
Jeez.
It's time for
borderline
it's time for
disrespect.
it's time for the American Nightmare. Thank you.
You bastard.
Jet.
I gotta follow it.
It's got WrestleMania has been built around finish your story. WWE 2K finish your story.
Yeah, he's on the cover of the game.
Cody's been getting his ass kicked, but it's got to be Cody. He serves no purpose after if he loses to Roman again. Like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna book him? What are you gonna do with him anymore? It has to be Cody. Roman, although he takes breaks all the time, it'll be good if he takes like a 6, 7, 8 month break and comes back. Like, let Cody run with the belt for a little bit. It's time. I have Cody. John Cena's gonna help him. Maybe Stone Cold. Maybe Stone Cold.
Maybe Brock Lesnar.
I don't think Brock Lesnar.
Oh my goodness, y'all doing everything, naming everybody for Roman to lose.
No, I don't think Brock.
He just wants to piss me off. That Brock Lesnar one, that you just want to piss me off.
Sam,
Ooh, that'd be sweet.
Who's it gonna be?
You don't get it. We gotta get Hulk Hogan out of here.
Sam, we all hate Hulk Hogan. He's a terrible person, but you can't book your entire story around just trying to get rid of Hulk Hogan.
I promise you,
it's not even the record, Sam. It's like some other record.
It doesn't need to be the record. We just need to move him out the way. I have the tribal chief retaining.
So you had the tribal chief retaining.
Listen, I'm not explaining nothing to you.
So what is
okay?
So
I don't
what,
need
no, hold on, Sam.
You, sir.
What do you do as the booker, as the writer? What do you do with Cody after this?
You celebrate. Say thanks for your service.
Sheesh.
Thanks for your service. Okay.
You can't be serious, bro. You cannot be serious. What am I gonna do with a third, or is this a third or fourth WrestleMania with Roman on top?
Continue to sell out arenas.
This is the 2020.
This will be the fourth.
Fourth, yeah.
God, for what?
You continue to sell out
for
arenas.
What? No. Roman can go ahead. Jet was just saying he can take a nice 6 or 7 month long break as opposed to the 5 or 6 month break they usually take. Okay, so he can be gone, bro. Bye.
It's fine. Like
because Sam, if Roman wins, he's never losing at a non-WrestleMania, so it would just be a full-on another year. And then who's he face next year?
And guess what? You guys will tune in every week anyway.
So I guess it got to be me, huh? I'm either tying this up or I'm going to go with.
Yeah, Mike, whatever you says is what's going to happen. So it's like, what do you think is going to be the best?
Listen.
Mike.
Well,
Mike.
should we pull up the video from last year to see who Mike voted for?
Listen, here's what I'll say. All right, here's what I'll say. I read somewhere, I always read somewhere, that they want to put Cody in a position. It's because the WrestleMania is in Philadelphia. They want Cody to be in a position where he looks like Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Last year was Rocky 1. This year is looking like Rocky 2. And if you're familiar with the Rocky movies, you know what happened at the end of Rocky 2. The thing with Roman retaining is, can we do, which is not saying it's out the realm of possibility, it's not possible, and Triple H and Roman and Paul Heyman couldn't figure it out. Can we do another 365 days of the bloodline ruling the storylines? Could we do another? And you know Roman's not going to be there all the time. You know,
he's no more opponents.
You know Rock is not going to be there all the time. Are we just expected for Paul Heyman, Solo, and Jimmy Uso to carry it the best they can for a full year just to see Roman back in the main event next year? Which I'd love to see Roman back in the main event next year. He should be in the main event. Title or no title, Roman should be in the main event. But I don't think they've put. They're not gonna let Cody go through as much as he's gone through. Cody right now is the face of the company. Like, yeah, Roman's the guy. Don't get me wrong. Like, Roman's the guy, but we're talking about like public relations. Cody is the guy. He's on the cover of the freaking video game. His whole finish the story. He's doing all the commercials.
The merch.
Cody,
He's selling the most merchandise.
he's selling the merch. Cody's the guy, and I think WWE would be. And he just resigned a brand new contract and whatnot. I think WWE wouldn't do right by the company if they were to hype him all up for all of this just to have him lose again. Because let's be honest, him losing again is, when you talk about one of the ultimate burials, it's like, yo, if he loses to Roman, he don't need to fight for the belt ever again as long as Roman holds it. He don't need to fight Roman Reigns ever again. We don't need to hear nothing about finishing the story because you had 2 chances. Like, Cody has 0 say in trying to fight for that belt ever again if he loses, which is why Cody gets it done on Sunday night.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Here's the thing
Sam.
too, Mike. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt Roman to lose.
If they book it the right way, Roman, yeah, it's gonna be a shock and awe moment, Roman.
Yeah.
But like, if they book it the right way, it's not like Roman's gonna fall off the face
No,
of the
they'll
earth
both get a
because he loses
standing
the belt.
ovation.
Like, Roman loses, and Roman's gonna be the last one to leave the ring because I think the fans will like look at Roman, being sad and upset that he lost. He'd probably get a standing ovation his damn self for carrying that belt for as long as he did. And then he'll disappear for the next couple of months, as he should.
And then he can come back as a monster. Like, I'm saying, it doesn't hurt him at all to lose at this point. It doesn't hurt him.
And it doesn't hurt WWE to see what they have in a Cody-led WWE. It doesn't hurt. They've seen what it looks like with Roman leading the charge for the last 3-4 years. It doesn't hurt for them to say, well, we know what that looks like, and could we squeeze that out for another year? Yeah. But the product's so hot right now. Let's take a chance to see what Cody can do. Because if by chance Cody sucks, who can they call? Who can they throw money at and call to maybe come save the day?
Roman Reigns.
So, Sam, Roman's my boy. I'm with it. Ones is up. I'm with it. I might throw it.
Put your damn thumb down.
Sam, that's my boy. But like, yo, he's done a hell of a job. Would I like to see him break Hulk Hogan's record? Absolutely. But like, yeah, man, I got Cody taking it home Sunday night.
All I'll say
the worst night.
So
all I'll say is, for the last few years, there have been think pieces and articles and conversations and debates about why Roman should lose this match and why Roman should lose that match. And everyone who's betted against him has came up with the same results. So last time I checked, the definition of insanity was doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So I choose to be on the side that is not insane. But by all means, gentlemen, you guys enjoy your WrestleMania. Me and the Bloodline,
it's going to be insufferable. Do you guys understand that?
me and the Bloodline, we're going to enjoy this on the island
I'm
of
saying,
Ellen.
you'll enjoy night one. The end of night one will be your night.
I will enjoy the entire weekend. And knowing that Roman is going to retain while I'm eating chicken wings at Dave's house.
So like, think about if Cody wins, think about the merch that WWE could sell, like finish the story or like, ended the streak. What are they going to, if Roman wins and then passes Hulk Hogan, what's the shirt going to say? Pass the racist? Like,
yeah.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Because last year it was the bottom of the 3rd, right? So now we're at the bottom of the 6th, right? Is that
also Sam?
You know what shirt would sell? Hulk Hogan. We coming for you.
They should release the Juneteenth edition of that.
Yo,
just get Booker T on the t-shirt.
Oh my god.
Who's gonna? Okay, this is a real question though, Sam. If Cody doesn't win, we all agree he can't challenge him again, and so Cody's kind of done. Who the hell beats Roman Reigns? Does he just hold the title forever?
for the belt. I think you guys want to know what I think ends up happening.
What do you think, Sam?
Build Solo up to do it.
I think that Roman is gonna beat Cody, and then after he pins Cody, I think that is when The Rock turns on Roman. That's when the beatdown happens, and then The Rock eventually faces Roman, beats Roman, and then I think Cody ends up beating The Rock for the belt, and then you'll have a bloodline-less WWE era for a while because The Rock and Roman will be gone. I just don't think it happens at
Don't you
this
feel?
point.
Does it mean much if Cody keeps losing to Roman and beats The Rock?
Yeah, I don't know about
I
that.
think that WWE does care about, The Rock. I mean, Roman getting past that Hulk Hogan number, and I also think that they're still in that mindset, like, we keep dangling this idea of Cody finishing the story over y'all heads, and just when y'all think it's gonna happen, we snatch that shit away and make y'all more mad, but so mad that you want to keep watching because you need to see it happen. So I think this is the last WrestleMania it'll happen, because again, all Paul Heyman and Triple H and Roman and Rock keep saying is that this story is nowhere near over.
They're making up the story on the fly. The story was supposed to be Roman versus Rock this year, so I don't want to hear the third inning or anything like that.
Hey, if that's not the truth, they've done a hell of a job improvising.
No,
Listen,
they have done a good job improvising. I'm just saying, okay, so you're saying Rock is the one who eventually beats Roman. That doesn't do anything for The Rock either. It needs to do something. Like, he's held the title for so long, it needs to do something for somebody.
It's good. Well, I think this is when. So the workhorse champion is going to be Drew. That's going to be the guy that's on TV all the time. The Rock gets one more opportunity to be world champion, and then he's going to lose to Cody. He's going, because their feud is going to continue after WrestleMania, because you don't just beat somebody with a belt twice
here's
and then never see them again
what
and
we're
then
going
think
to
everything's
need.
okay.
Here's what we're gonna need, fellas. There's gonna have to be a post WrestleMania edition of the show, because I promise y'all, we can sit here and talk storyline and predictions, and we can do this all night.
Right.
Promise you. And I definitely wanted to get to another segment, but I think we can save that next segment for a post WrestleMania show. If y'all are down to do it, we can make.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm always down forever.
Sam might be a little too sad to do it, but
We'll get him out here. We'll drag him out here for sure. He'll be good.
Oh boy.
I told you that was your last one.
I would troll the shit out of Sam. Oh
Fellas,
my god.
You're
I can't
getting
wait to
walked.
see y'all Saturday, man. We all pulling up Saturday and Sunday, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. It's going to be a hell of a weekend.
I might have to block Sam.
You're getting walked, Dave. I'm just coming to your house, okay?
It's going to be a hell of a weekend for everybody who gets a chance to tune in and watch and listen. This is Double M, the WrestleMania 40 preview show. Myself, Mike Nice, got the executive producer, Cool Sam in the building. And shout out to my guys, Dave Most and Jet Striar in the building, holding it down the show with us. It's going to be interesting Saturday and Sunday night. We'll be back for a post WrestleMania show and see what the future of the WWE is looking like once they start their official new season after WrestleMania 40, because drafts and all different types things might happen, new championships, new champions, we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate everybody watching and listening and tuning in. This is Double M for sure, and I promise you, we're to the moon.
To the moon.